Come closer.
Destiny doesn't knock on any door. It crashes in without calling.
Something happened years ago, and I've been punished.
Such a deceiver. She had to suffer, like Nancy Abadition. I just needed to throw the grenade.
Stephen, this has to stop.
He drowned. You watched him.
Come closer.
Destiny doesn't knock on any door. It crashes in without calling.
Something happened years ago, and I've been punished.
Such a deceiver. She had to suffer, like Nancy Abadition. I just needed to throw the grenade.
Stephen, this has to stop.
He drowned. You watched him.
She is a liar. She's a liar. She's one of those despicable, diabolical people characters that I've met in a very long time, y'all. If you're new here though, my name's Ashley. This is my sweet perspective where I give my take on all things TV and movie related. I'm here to put you on, and we're back to talk disclaimer, episodes 3 and 4. And I don't have much positive to say about it. I'm just going to be honest and put it on the table for you guys right now. The glamorization of predatory behavior in these past couple of shows that I've watched have been the height of disturbing to my psyche, to my spirit, to my mind, and I don't like it. But we have a lot to talk about because a lot of ground was covered in this episode. But let me first just see how the ladies are doing and the chat. You guys in the chat, let me know how your Monday has been and if you're ready to dive into disclaimer tonight. But coming to the stage first, Tyra over at Struggle Reviews TV. How are you this fine Monday?
I was good before you played that intro.
That wasn't even the right intro. See, that's what I know everything's not right. I did a whole different version of the intro. That
I blocked that out of my mind as quickly as I saw it because I just felt like this episode was extremely disturbing, and I'm not looking forward to conversating about this show. I knew it was going to be, a tough ride, and I think we all got the gist of what transpired between her and the young man, but I didn't want to see it for that long. I didn't want to see it at all. I'm good on that.
Next, coming to the stage, Quana over at her real review. How are you this fine Monday, Quana?
I am okay, but this woman has put me through, and I'm ready to give her what she needs to get.
Okay. I'm here for that carrying on. Let's all give her the business on today.
Okay.
And last but not least, Kay over at Slice of Horror, who's giving out mugs to people that I feel are undeserving of them. But how are you doing this fine Monday?
Oh, I am tired. It's been a long Monday. I don't know why. I feel like I just been on the go. But this episode, I said yesterday I don't want to go to Pound Town again. I don't want to go. And disclaimer said, hold my beer.
Yeah. That's that'll do it. That's basically what they said. You guys, we are going to be on immediately after this to talk Teacup, which I'm much more excited to talk about. So please make sure that you are on and available for that live as well. But y'all, we're gonna do it. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna give it justice. We are gonna do that. But first, you know what we do around here in these parts over in Sweet Pea Land. I need to get your overall thoughts, and this was my mood after watching it. I said, Nancy, she displayed it better than anybody else could have done for me because I'm done. I'm done and I'm over it. Kay, I'm gonna start with you. What were your overall thoughts of episodes 3 and 4? Other than Pound Town. Sorry.
You raggedy witch. Raggedy. This lady is raggedy. Took advantage of that boy. Ruined her own family. Ruined that man's family. That poor boy. That mom passed away of heartbreak. I know they say cancer, but she passed away of heartbreak. Okay, she grieved that boy until her last breath, and now she done ruined her own family. She almost lost her son, and she let the man just go. She raggedy. That was my overall thought. Raggedy.
We're going to get into all that, and I couldn't agree with you more. Quana, overall thoughts of episodes 3 and 4 of Disclaimer on Apple TV.
Drama. She's a user and an abuser, and it's just too much for me. I tell you what. It was a lot. I'm interested in what more there is to unpack, because they're trying to build some sympathy with that last scene. We can talk about it later, but I'm not feeling anything other than disdain for Miss Ravenscroft, or whatever her name is. I need her to get I need her to get what's coming to her.
Her comeuppance. She needs more than that. She definitely needs more than that. But yeah, she needs something. Retribution is mandatory. Tyra, just go on and give me the overall thoughts for episodes.
Yeah.
Disturbing, disgusting. We know. Anything else?
I'm questioning everybody at this point, along with this lady underwater here. I'm questioning everyone. I don't trust anybody here. To witness Miss Catherine be so negligent as a mom, predatoriness aside, because that's its own thing we have to talk about, but just how negligent she was in her own agenda for desire, it was so disgusting. Like, as a parent, I was like, girl, if you don't do your girl, you have one job. You had one job. If we were going to do this, because I think that was our question when we first discussed it, like, where was the son? 4 years old, you're here in Rome, like solo dolo. Nobody's there. Where was your son when you were getting your rocks off? And we see
in the same room.
But this is I'm questioning mostly the relationship that he had with his mother and his father. I want to get deeper into that, because there's a disconnect there prior to him losing his life. And I think that's going to unravel even more things. But yeah, the show was a lot.
Yeah, too much. Episodes 3 and 4. Again, episode 3 was Destiny Doesn't Ask Permission. Episode 4 was I Wanted Him to Die, and I Hope He Burned in a Hot Place. And that's what she did. And we'll get into it. And again, it still stands, because everybody needs to know who Catherine Ravenscroft is and who she is and what she does, and cancel her. If anybody deserves to be canceled, it's Catherine. But let's get into a couple of the characters. Just to start, I want to see how your attitudes have changed, if we have any more adjectives that we want to add to these people. And we're gonna introduce one more character. But let's start with Catherine, because we've been here before, but you see I've added much more. All right. And I wanted to intentionally give you current day Catherine as well as old, younger version of Catherine as well. I'm saying it right now. She's a lunatic. She's a predator. She's a selfish hoe. Okay. Selfish hoe. Diabolical in every sense of the word. She's an unfit mother. Catherine Ravenscroft is a wretch. Period. And I know I took it back some centuries with that one, you guys, but just know it's bad. And she embodies every element of that. I didn't know I couldn't dislike her anymore until I watched her. I will posit this, though, for both the audience and the panel, okay, that I don't know if we can necessarily trust this narration. It was very, very bad. But in the eyes of a mother who's just lost her son, this may be the story that you would tell, right? So I want us to keep that present in our mind as we go through it. But Tyra, have any of your feelings, thoughts changed about Catherine after watching these 2 episodes?
I mean, we already knew that she was a liar and a questionable human being, because we knew what was coming, but to see it in action, even though we are, thank you so much, Horton, taking taking this from the mother's perspective, because the young man that we saw entangled with her, that's not the man that we met or the boy that we met on the train. That's different. So I do think that this is her perspective, but regardless of his state and his stutter, he was a minor. You were being predatory, and you did go after this young man for your own little sexual gratification. It was one thing with that, but to witness her be so dismissive of her own son, and I think it was Quana last time, because I didn't see it. I was like, maybe I missed something that Quana saw with her as a mother. You were like, I feel like in the flashback she was more attentive, and there's somewhere along the line their relationship got broken. I was like, oh no, it was already broken. It was already broken. I feel like it was picturesque to have her son, and yeah, she's no mother does this. No real mother moves in this way at all. So I feel like she's been unfit. Selfish whole explanation point. Okay, let's put an explanation, a couple of them on there, because it's absolutely that. I'm just I want to know more about her. I don't like her, and I'm like, can it get any worse?
That's what I want to know. And also, this didn't seem like new behavior for her, even though she gives him this spiel at the end of it, like, oh, these are things I've never done. I want the way she commanded the language in these interactions. This heifer's been here before and done it before. Kay, talk to me about Catherine. Has she done this before, or was Jonathan truly her first endeavor?
This seems like somebody who was experienced in messing around on her husband, because obviously he wasn't breaking her off in the manner in which she feel like she deserved. And so I feel like that might have been her MO. Let me, go into an area where I'm a stranger and solicit these things. And see that the problem came where she might be soliciting one night stands, but see, he started to clean. And I don't think she was set up for that part. She might be used to the, pump and dump. And he wasn't ready to be dumped just yet. That kind of messed with her plans. But I feel like she's done this before. I don't think that I feel like she wasn't satisfied by her husband, but she wasn't gonna go long. Like after a week, if it wasn't right, then she gonna be on the prowl. She been on the prowl before. That's why her husband's parents ain't never like her. Like I said, they heard about her in these streets. Okay, her name probably been passed around several times.
They knew she was gutter bucket, and a
Mhm.
gutter. You look real gutter bucket, Catherine. Quana, talk to me about Catherine. Have your opinions changed of her since episodes 1 and 2?
Yes and no. I was holding out hope for Catherine, Miss Catherine, at least as it pertained to young Nicholas. And I don't know how she was in that sequence, even if that's not the exact narrative, because I too am having thoughts. I don't know. It reminded me a lot of Wild Things, even in the way they played the music. But I was holding out hope. And like Tyra said, I was holding out hope, and she let me down. I was hoping that there was a little bit of goodness in her with regards to her child, and she let me down with that. This was interesting. She is really on one, because the way that she basically saw in this young man somebody who she could mold and shape and do with what she wanted. She went after him. I mean, she saw that open door, and there was a moment where things could have went their separate ways, and she saw that open door and she pounced on him. And it's sad. She needs what she has got coming to her, some bad karma.
Oh, for sure. This was definitely predatory. It was predatory grooming even, I felt like, even at the dinner, and we'll get to it because I was so utterly that's where the disgust began. This young man is young, he has a girlfriend, all of these things, and you are dropping breadcrumbs that are going to like titillate any straight young man that you come across, you know that if you dangle X, Y, and Z, she knew exactly what she was doing. She has the mind of a predator. She knew exactly what she was doing. She knew exactly what she wanted, and she uses him as a toy. But I would say this: I put this out there. Everyone in her life she uses in some capacity. Her husband was to fund her frolicking, right? Because how dare you do it in the same hotel room that you shared with your husband and child? Child there waking up. Oh no, don't move. No, no, don't get up. Don't get up, Jonathan. He'll be all right. He'll go back to sleep. Just shh. Girl, find something safe to do. I can't.
Oh, Lord. Catherine can go to hell. How dare you ruin Kylie Minogue for me? I love me some Kylie.
And that's what we said when we come to them. Talk to me more about Kylie. Shut up.
And Kylie somewhere sitting at home like, how I get in this? I'm looking at AppleTV like, wait a minute, now how I get in this?
Okay, she's just trying to be on the locomotion, ride the train. And she done took it to the wrong spot.
I hate it. I hate everything about it. Then we have Steven. And his plan is coming together. But wait, there's more. And I want to know from you guys, who is he about to catfish? Quana, I'm going to start with you because he's going to take on the identity of a younger person on the socials to accomplish another leg of this mission. Who do you think it is? And what do you think he's going to be doing?
I suspect that he's catfishing He's going to catfish Nicholas. I think he's going to create a Facebook page to catfish Nicholas because he said in the first couple episodes that he needs to get retribution. He needs to take from her what was taken from him, and what was taken from him was his wife and his son. So he has to go for Nicholas. And in one sense, he's already kind of catfishing, right? Because he's letting people think that book is him or his creation solely. So he kind of is already catfishing, and he's just going to up the ante so that he can go after Nicholas.
Kay, what say you? Who do you think he's after? Is he catfishing Nicholas or something else?
Either. I feel like it would be easy to catfish Nicholas because I think he thought he was a simple boy. That's not really.
That's what he said. He said he's useless, a waste of space.
Exactly, because what are we gonna accomplish there? That boy's simple. I think it's gonna either go. I think it's either gonna be her husband or her. It might just be her.
I'm with either of those options.
Leave Nicholas and his simple ass out of this.
And I'd say even Robert, because I have a slide on Robert. Robert's down bad, and I think Robert might end up in the Pinta. Tyra, talk to me about Steven and his plan. Who is he about to catfish, and what do you think the next leg of his attack is going to be?
He said he wants to tear her down and everything she stands. He said, I want you to lose the same way I did. I lost my wife and I lost my son. You need to lose your son and your husband. It's either the husband or the son. Like we said, Nicholas will be the easier prospect to catfish. Yeah. He will be easier, but I could see him. I don't know. I don't know what it would be worth to him to go after the husband. So I do see the son being the easier target, trying to get, stock in him with the girlfriend, break his heart, do whatever he can, from it. Because we can't see this. We can't roll up to Nicholas looking like this. He's going to catfish in a way to get intel or get into his mind and really dig into those bones of that hatred that he has for that mother of his. But yeah, it couldn't possibly be Catherine because, girl, please be smart this time. Let's not. It will be extra diabolical for her to take this time to go, you know what? Let me entertain this young man who just DM'd me or something. Girl, please. So I'm going for Nicholas. I feel like he's going to just work his way through. I think I think the both of them are underestimating each other. She's underestimating, thinking that, because baby, I'm sure we're going to get to that message. Like, girl, who was that for? What was that supposed to suffice or do to solace this whole situation? Like, he was just going to take that and move on. You're crazy. But yeah, I think he is going to work his way slowly. She isn't going to see him coming, and I think vice versa.
Well. Yeah, Steven. And we meet a new person. We get a taste of Nancy Brigstock, played by the Leslie Manville. And if you watch Grotesquerie, Lives on Thursdays. Uh, she is Nurse Red, aka Big Red. Okay. In this, she is playing Nancy Brigstock, and she is a grieving mother. She is unhinged. Okay, a recluse, but is she sinister? I was getting teased from Miss Nancy throughout this episode of something that may not be healthy, right? Um, well, definitely not healthy, but I think there may be some other stuff to this. Kay, talk to me about Nancy. What did you think of our introduction to Nancy and who she is as a character?
It's definitely some things that have been unspoken about Nancy here, and maybe the rapport that they had with the son before he went off, or maybe the dynamics of the family that they were in, but before he left. But she is definitely just that was it. That was her everything right there. Like she didn't want to live no more.
Mm-mm.
Her husband didn't even care about the husband still sitting there like, I'm right here, if you need anything. And she's like, no.
She said, "Put that plate outside the door. I'll get it. I'm moving in his room. Let me drown myself to see how it feels." She was going through
She
all of the motions.
that's yeah, she probably should have seen a therapist and did not. Where was the therapy? Because her grief went to psychosis.
Yeah, impatient.
That's not
5150.
normal.
Mhm,
That ain't
5150.
normal.
Tyra, Nancy, what'd you think?
Uh, because like I'm questioning how close she was to her son, honestly. How far did their relationship go?
Oh Lord.
I am like, first of all, she don't like this man. She is tolerating this man. She is unhappy within this marriage. The way she was like, "Are we gonna go to the show?" Because the show, the way we missed that one. Remember that time that opera came, we missed that one. We don't go anywhere. We're not doing and indulging in any of the things. Like, well, get the door. Like, well, turn the meat over. Can you hurry up? Like, she's irritated. She don't like this man. When he pulled her up and she's grieving, she still made time. She said, "I hate you."
Mm-hmm.
That's what I heard. I hate you. Like there's something there, and the way that I'm still waiting for why he wasn't close to his dad, and we still don't know why, but the way she moved, how sneaky it was, the way she said like he was dead, and the way she hid that story, the way she grabbed that film, like I'm gonna have it developed in secret. And he's like, "Well, I didn't even know he still had the camera. I haven't seen it in years. Why are you?" She took it as if there would be something incriminating on it about her.
Mm.
And
Mm.
the way that he was shooting her, we didn't, see any indecent pictures, but it was just like, it made me uncomfortable. And the way that she reacted to his death, there's a way to react and grieve. Everybody grieves in their own way, but it was almost, too close to "I lost my love."
Oh, Jesus.
And I don't like
He
that.
could have been
I
covering
pray
up
we
for
don't
him.
go down that path, Lord.
Yeah, I'm
He
hoping.
might have been his predator himself, and she might have been covering him for him. She might have been one of those raggedy mamas that knew he was out there doing some things and
I
was trying to
can't
cover up for him.
I can't get into any Oedipal complexes. I don't want to see it. No Oedipus Rex for me. No,
You like Game of
mother
Thrones. You
son.
used to it.
I don't know. With this show, I don't put it past it. It's just something off of it's something odd. This is an odd period. Like I moved into his room. That's her grieving was in the same vein of "I lost my husband. I want to be close to my husband. I'm going into this room to sleep and be close to my husband. Don't bother me. I need my distance from you. You weren't the love of my life. My son was, in more ways than one." I'm questioning it, and we're gonna wait to see, but that's the first place my mind went.
Okay. Quana, what say you? What do you think of Nancy upon, initial meeting?
When they were cooking in the backyard, I was like, "Oh, she is on this man's behind hard." I said, "This man can't get no breaks." I said, "I know he is miserable." And then as he was narrating about how distant he was from Jonathan and how close she was from Jonathan, I was like, okay, she definitely was one of those moms who, you love your child, but she definitely prioritized him way, way, way above her relationship with her spouse, to the point where I think maybe, I think with Nicholas and Robert, you see how it goes one way. The kid can see that the mom is distant with the dad and they get closer to the dad. And then sometimes it goes the opposite. And I can't help but wonder, in this case, is it the opposite, where he looked at how she talked to his dad and it made him kind of not respect him? And then when they came to tell them, at first I felt a lot of sympathy. Like I could imagine losing your child and then grieving that way. Like she goes into shock and the way she reacts. But when they got them pictures and he started talking about how she was so like, oh yeah, there's no pictures of you, and she was almost like rubbing that in his
Gleeful.
face.
Yeah,
and
she was
going,
Why would there
gleeful.
be pictures?
like I was like, I'm thinking to myself, even if you are happy to know that your child like used the gift you gave them and they're using it to appreciate you as their mom, da 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 da. But to say to your spouse, the father of your child, oh, well, he just wasn't thinking of you like that, and the boy is gone.
Yeah.
That was some sinister, mean, evil, wicked stuff right there. And I was like, oh, there's more. If I don't know if they went across the wrong side of the aisle or if she just was so entangled with him that she started to fantasize. But best believe, I feel like in my heart of hearts, when she found them pictures, she and I'm having a problem with the narrative that we are having right now, because I feel like we're getting the narrative that she recorded and there's no way for her to know all of that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm like, is this the fantasy that she had, essentially placing herself in Catherine's situation or position to fantasize about her child? And what I mean, and I feel like it would, like at the point where it does become a break and she's practicing drowning so she can feel what he feels. How much else are you trying to feel what he felt?
Lord,
I don't know.
That was just too much. When she told that man, oh, he wasn't thinking about you, I was like, oh no, that's telling you the baby daddy that.
She don't give a damn.
No, when we saw those pictures, those angles, he was taking those pictures. It's the same like sneakily way he was taking pictures of Catherine on the beach. That's how he was. Why are you sneaky taking photos of your mother?
Lord,
Just like, oh, look at that. And like, what is that? Like, oh, that's my side of my neck. Like, what? That is
Big Red.
Weird. It's weird.
Big Red. I better not. We get to the 7th. They better not do that. I better not get a flashback in real time of Big Red and her son. I won't be able to.
After Nurse Red, I'm scared of anything I see this woman in now. I'm trying to.
Lord,
you didn't think it was unnatural, Ashley, how she was acting? Because it's one thing to grieve. It was something else for her.
Like I said, I think there was something sinister about her character in general. What got me the most was the writing, was the narrative, right? Because he didn't write you no postcard telling you all of them details. So how did you concoct this super erotic literature based on your son and what? You know what I mean? What happened? It was so that part
everything. She based all of that on those pictures she saw. She had those pictures developed and wrote her own narrative and story about what happened.
But why would you even write? That's the problem I have when we get ready to talk about Robert. That's the problem I have is how graphic must this book have been for Robert to have the reaction that the narration said he had to read in the story.
To get a Woody.
Like, why would you be writing that about your child? Like, why? Like, okay, you glossed over. You would just say he meant this one deviant quantity. Yeah, you getting in the nitty gritty about your baby getting it in.
Okay.
My dad said, I don't know how you got them kids. I've been married for 18 years. He said, I don't know how you got them kids. You still pure. I said, yes, right, Daddy.
Lord. As it should be. I mean, hypersexualized, you guys, and this didn't do anything further, because this is when my disgust really begins. I'm disgusted, and how nobody heard him. We in a restaurant in Italy. I'll give it's Europe, so maybe things are a little bit different, but there is no way he about to do what his daddy did at that restaurant. He's on full mode in this place, and she just loving it. Let me see what else nasty I can tell you. You do your girlfriend like this? Oh, what else do you do? He's like, man, I don't know. Well, come on, think about it. What would you do if blah 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 blah? And he's stuttering. He can't breathe. He's like a little puppy dog. It was so gross to me, and it starts here, and then we get here. This was not sexy. This was perverse to me. Let me talk you through it, Michelle. Let me talk.
Actually, please.
I'm just saying. Unc was with someone of age, but I'm just saying, let me talk you through.
Shannon Sharp, please, ma'am.
I'm just saying, Quana, talk to me about all of this. Talk to me about the dinner. Talk to me about their romp in the jungle. Were you as uncomfortable as I was? I fast
Yes.
forwarded it. I fast forwarded through a lot of this.
I was so uncomfortable, especially because, as I said to you guys, I was having video issues. So when I watched it twice, y'all. But the first time I wasn't watching it, I was just listening to it. My God, in heaven, the graphicness of the talking through. I don't know that I can compare it to anything else I've seen, and something that's even supposed to be romantically inclined, because it was like she was talking him through and giving him all the details graphically, and I was like, oh my! And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna look because I'm not seeing it, so I'm gonna watch part of it one more time, and I kind of skipped around, I kind of fast forwarded through just so I could say I saw the images, but like. It was not sexy, because the minute that the police told us he was 19, I was like, oh, look. And so then her talking him through like he's a baby. He didn't even know. She had to tell him where to go, up, down, and like it was not okay. It was not okay.
Nothing about this was okay. And then the switch reversed the next morning, where you lay right there, get like this, do this. I'm like, oh, we switching positions now. I hated it. Okay. What was your initial reaction to this scene?
That lady going to hell. Okay. Even if the mom embellished and wrote this book, we know something happened, because he didn't take those the pictures were still taken, so something happened. It might not have been, let me talk you through it, but the pictures that he took, she did something to that boy. We know something went down, and it wasn't nothing good about this at all. And why are we romanticizing this at all? Okay, she's going to hell, first class at this point. First class.
When gasoline draws on, Tyra.
I mean, I didn't skip through anything. I didn't want to see this, but I didn't want to miss anything or miss anything in the midst of their conversation. This was icky, but I was waiting for it to go further, because Ashley was like, I've never seen anything like this before. We don't see this with women that often, because I was like, maybe I just watched Lolita earlier this year and stuff like, I don't know, like Mystic River. Like, we've seen so many males portrayed in a predatory sense. And then when we see it reflected on a woman, and it's just like, but girl, you're a mother. Like, girl, we have a higher expectation as women, because it's like, I'm a woman, I could never. But I think we've seen this a lot with men. So just to see it here for as long as we did with her, it was like, oh my God, it just felt, it hit a different spot. I didn't know. It was just different. But I guess I'm guessing it's supposed to serve that purpose, and that's why we stayed there as long as we did, because we don't see women in this light too often, even though we know predatory women do exist. But we, especially alluring ones like this one, is unassuming, unexpected. Like, oh, she could get anybody she wanted to. Why would she, try to go after her child? There were a lot of men at this resort, in this hotel. You could have went after anybody. Mm-hmm. Why this boy? And it's about control for her. It wasn't about, it was about control, and she knew that she could do that with him. But yeah, I didn't think it had to be as long as it was. It was very, very uncomfortable, but I think they wanted us to be uncomfortable. I never have to see this again in my life.
No, never. And I mean, I hope that was their motivation, and the purpose of this is like a cautionary whatever. But yeah, when I said I hadn't seen anything like this on TV before, it was more of the talking through, because of course we've seen SMEC scenes, but the detail, the graphic nature that she went, and for how long it went on, I haven't felt this uncomfortable watching something. I mean, well, 3 women, I felt uncomfortable as well, but to this extreme, like this was a lot going on.
Yeah, when you see stuff like, I don't know, like Doubt, and it's been some movies. Remember Doubt with Meryl Streep? Or
I didn't watch that with the nuns.
Yeah,
I was like,
it's a lot. It's a lot of them out there, but I think we skip over most of the time when we see predators, and most often it's men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it is. I think it was the talking, because I kept thinking back to like scenes I've seen recently that are graphic and that kind of thing. But real, like she was describing, since I couldn't see the images, I kept thinking, are we looking at her cat?
They was gonna whip out that cat.
Because I was listening to it first before I saw it, so I was like, oh, are we looking at her cat for real? Because they describing this like in great detail, like we are looking at her cat. Hello. Like, okay.
She tried to bust it out on the beach. I said, you a low down skank. You are. There are
Yeah.
children here, ma'am.
She
Your
did.
child is right beside. I'm gonna break this down really quick because this is what actually happened. Okay, it's the next day. This is the afterglow, right? After they done went all the way to the jungle, she couldn't get enough. He couldn't get enough. They go to the beach together. They gonna take the little boy, Nicholas, to the beach too, right? And so she's so hot in the tail that she can't even wait till they get back to the room later on, right? They're not at the beach 10 minutes. And she says, oh, I need to go to the bathroom. Ma'am, strange Italian woman over here. Can you watch my child while I go in the bathroom for 45 minutes and screw this man upside the wall while my hand is hanging over the edge of the awning? Let me do that. And then he's in there, doing his business, okay, and says, I bought my ticket to follow you, girl. I'm going where you go. You coming? You can't do that. What you mean? Like you're gonna go with me? No, go enjoy your Italian vacation, enjoy your Italian summer. Cat, what did you expect? You can't turn nobody out like that. He was young and lost and turned out. Okay. His nose is open. He was going to follow this woman to the end of the world. This is a fatal attraction waiting to happen. So she's pissy already. Okay. Let me leave 10 minutes after me. He comes right out after her. Right. Cause he kind of pissed. She goes out and her son's there. Where's the lady who was supposed to be watching you? That was not that woman's responsibility to watch your child while you went to screw in the bathroom where everybody on the beach could hear you. Okay. So that wasn't enough though, y'all. That wasn't enough. That wasn't enough. That wasn't enough neglect or abandonment for Nicholas for one day. So she said, Nicholas, baby, stay right here. I'm gonna take a nap. Mommy's gonna take a nap. This heifer proceeds to go to sleep, not a nap. She went to sleep. Next thing we know, he's out in the middle of the ocean. Okay. And who's there to save but Captain Save a Ho? Captain Save a Ho and a ho's child. And he jumps out, Johnny on the spot, and he's going to go, be the knight in shining armor. But I'm going to pause there because we'll get into that. But Tyra, talk to me about what actually happened and Catherine, because this took me to a place.
I mean, from this, like, because this is still the book, right? This just can't be. I feel like this is the mother. I feel like this is the mother. Because who in their right mind? Hey, strange lady, watch my son. I just can't wait. Matter of fact, I'm finna flash my cat on this beach.
I'm just unreliable narration. So but still, if it was this way, diabolical.
Couldn't have been. I think that this is his mother painting what she wants to see. I'm sure there was a moment of them maybe frolicking, whatever, where she wasn't paying attention to where that baby got, out there and was stranded and he had to go save him. But for it to be in this motion, for her to be that negligent, like, I'm going to take a nap. Don't move. Don't bother me. Like, I was like, what? This feels unnatural. And then just the sinister way she sat there. That's the only way this is the only thing that I'm like, that guilt leaning in, because even when she says, I'm like, yeah, the mom definitely wrote this, because when she goes like, oh, well, yeah, if I had to tell you or whatever, I have to kill you. I'd have to kill you if you came down to it. If you couldn't restrain and refrain yourself when we're out in public, this has to stay behind closed doors. If you tried it and I was just that irresistible, I'd have to kill you. I don't want anybody getting out and knowing, what we've been up to, my husband. I have a life after this. I'm a wife. This is just, a rendezvous. Ciao. So for her to just sit there and like she was seething, sitting there like, yes, die. I need you to die. I need you to die, because if you don't die, there's an aspect of my husband or anybody else finding out what I did. And that was supposed to stay here. So if you die, I don't have anything to answer to. Matter of fact, I see you out there. I see you gasping for help. I know you rushed out there to get my son. But for whatever reason, nobody else conveniently saw you. Even the man who went out there and got the son initially, it's like, yeah, he's fine. Let's just leave. I was like, what? That made no sense to me. I'm like, why wouldn't they take him? Why wouldn't they grab him? I don't know if something else maybe happened. But why? That just didn't make sense for them to just leave him as if he would be okay, as if he wasn't at risk of drowning. Just like, and even the little boy, when he went out there, he was like, no, like, get off with me. I'm having a good time.
That's what he said. He was like, dump that. Stop.
It's just something. This feels really sensationalized. It feels like the mother. So I think at some point we will get the true narrative of exactly what happened. But there is no way in hell this is how Catherine went out. If this is at all true, girl, go to hell. go to hell. It's just her reading the book, that first episode, and her like, this is me. This is about me. And it's just like, well, yeah, but how much of it is true and how much of it is fabrication? Because there's no way, you just couldn't have done this. You couldn't possibly.
That was almost like an acceptance to me. When I think back to that initial scene, like enough of it had the ring of truth for her to be like, oh, this was definitely me. This was definitely me.
But how much of it? If it's all of it, go to hell. If it's some of it, okay, this is never going to be a clean sweep situation. You're not coming out of this looking good. But if you could take any of this off of your chart, girl, take some of it off because it looks bad.
I don't know. And then when she's talking to Robert and she's like, I was a different person then. I did this for us. I did this for you. I did this for Nicholas. So, Heffa, you did something. Now, was it to this extreme? God forbid. Quanah, what did she expect after screwing his kid? What did she expect?
I don't know what she expected because she was dumb. And I'm telling you, I don't know. Now I'm thinking about it. She was dumb for a lot of reasons. One, if you're going to step outside your marriage, why would you not get with somebody who also has everything to lose, so they're going to keep their mouth shut? You done got with this young boy. He has nothing to lose. He has no incentive to keeping his mouth shut. Then you let him take pictures of you. And at first she kind of was like, oh, no. And then she let him you got him on evidence, girl. Like you, your whole face, your whole cat, everything is in
the camera.
1080p, what is going on? So it part of the narrative, I think, is going to be, we're going to find out it's sensationalized because some of it just doesn't make sense. I think she can be calculated in a lot of things. Maybe she did genuinely wish that he would go away, that he was dead. And maybe that part that she feels guilty is because you know how a character will wish that somebody had died and then they die and then they feel guilty because it's like, oh, I wish this to happen. I didn't really mean for it to happen. But she let him take pictures, and at no point does she think about how can she get those pictures back. So that's a little suspect to me. The whole thing, the little boy, when little boy said, go away, I was like, little boy, he tried to say you. Like, he really looked at him like he was short. Go away. I'm having fun out here. What do you mean? Now I wonder, I can't help but wonder, what if we find out that Jonathan did something
to Nicholas?
Yeah. Like, what if Jonathan was the one who took him out there? Because and it wasn't exactly how, because she doesn't know. She's just putting all these things together, and she's gonna write Jonathan off as being innocent in all of this. So what if Jonathan had more to do with what happened than we know? And maybe that was
blocking something out. I think he remembers more than he's saying, because he seemed bothered when Robert brought it up last episode. And in present day, the only factual thing she's really saying is, I did this to protect Nicholas. And I'm like, what are you protecting him from? What happened?
Yeah. Oh, Lord have mercy. Okay.
They left that boy.
Okay.
Either way, something happened to Nicholas. So whether it was exactly what the mom said or not, it could be documented that, the lifeguards or whatever had to come and help save this little boy. So she was already being negligent with her son on the beach. That can be confirmed that happened. The pictures happened, so we know something happened. So whether the mom had the exact details, she's guilty of something. I'm not letting her off the leash just yet. No, ma'am. Something happened. because you went there on a mission for something to happen, and it backfired. The mom just probably magnified it, of course, to sell her book, but you did something, and then you was negligent of your own child.
Mhm.
And I can tell, and the way that she treats her son now, you can't tell me that she was actually very sweet to him as a child, because she don't give a damn about him right now. Okay, she know that young man got a few screws loose and go let him tell me he got to go move out the house, and he over there living in the trap house and not eating, ain't got no fridge or no microwave, and she know that he can't survive on his own. She don't give a damn about that child at all. You can't tell me she was trying to be a good parent then. That's how he ended up in the middle of the ocean.
What if Jonathan is a predator?
I'm not receiving that just yet.
Well, see, that's why I said I believe Jonathan might be guilty of something. That's why mom wanted to take that camera and get ahead of it, just in case he was taking pictures of something he wasn't supposed to be. His mom might have been one of them raggedy moms, like P Diddy's mom, that's trying to cover up his foolishness. Okay, she could be one of those to make it seem like he do nothing. But also, if he was, she let him in.
That's what I'm saying. She could be carrying some guilt and trying to block out this situation, because I was trying to have my way with this young man, and I would, left my baby at risk, and something may have happened.
Either way, she still did something. Guilty.
Childish, because we still don't know why, which I'm sure we'll get into that, whatever that marking is on his wrist.
I have it on the next
slide.
slide.
What happened? Something happened. Was this the setup? Did she make it look like a drowning incident? Like, what happened?
This is something else. Something else happened. So, all this is said and done. The terrible news is delivered, and then begins the process, right? Because now we got to go to Italy. We got to pack up. We need to get this body, and it's the loss of a son. So let's go in the ocean. And since that was the last place he was, and surely let's question these officials and get the story from them. But while we're looking at the body, let me throw myself on the body, and hug my son. But then this weird, I don't know if it's an X or a cross or whatever, but it's intentional. Whatever this cut is in Jonathan's arm isn't by happenstance, I don't think. So I'm like, was it a brawl? Was it a street fight? Were you defending her honor? I mean, what really happened? And we still don't know. But we see again them just kind of dealing with the aftermath. And then finally, we see the spiral of Nancy. And again, the ultimate unreliable narrator is what I have here. Tyra, when you saw Nancy in the bathtub looking like a bloated fish with her eyes open, what did you think? Did you think she was going to end it all? And also, what did you think about her posturing after, right? I'm going to lock myself in his room. I'm actually not even going to come out of this room. He said the room smelled like cancer. Because she refused to even deal with that part of her life. She was going to stay in there with a dead son.
I just want to know what their relationship was. The way I would have broke down that door as her husband got her some help, got her the attention she needed, and got her the 5150 she so desperately deserved in this moment. She needed some attention that he couldn't give her, and some grief counseling. To go this far, like, this is just signal, like, I want to die. My son is dead. I want to die. The fact that she felt like she had nothing to live for. I want to know why. Like, I wasn't going to kill myself, you idiot. I just wanted to know. I hate you. Like, what? Like, and this is prior to him dying, the way that they were just conversing outside, that in the little barbecue, that little time we spent with them. She does not love this man as a husband. Yeah. And even that little one moment that she had with Catherine, and she asked, like, I need to see your son. Why? I thought that was a weird request in itself. Why do you need to see my son? That was because mine is lost and yours is out here. I need to see your son. That's what I want before I die. Yeah, something's weird here. But she's a very broken woman. For her to dive off this deep, like, she was broken prior to losing that son. And something's not being spoken with her and that husband. I don't know if he's glossing over or glamorizing, because he speaks on her with the most utmost respect and thought, oh, it's a sign from Nancy that she's smiling on me. Like, where? This lady said you were dead. And she hid these things from you. She didn't go into this with you and join, and we're going to get redemption for our son. This was her own action. You had nothing to do with it, and you had nothing to do with her exiting this world. She wanted nothing to do with you. Something is weird, and I really want to know what it is.
Yeah, and what were your approach with Stephen and his past and some of the allegations that we might see come against him? Kay, what did you think about the spiral of Nancy? Well, we know you felt like she needed to see a therapist, but was there anything else? And is she the ultimate unreliable narrator at this point? Can we trust anything that she wrote?
I mean, we could the truth is in there somewhere. It might just be embellished, but we're also getting some narratives from her husband as well. We don't know if that man was abusive to her and the son. And maybe she's so close to the son because that's all she had to cling to. We don't know if that man beat her or not. We don't know if that man was cheating on her. We don't know if that man was stealing her money or using drugs or if that man was a predator as well with his students. We don't know yet. But there's something that she has a disdain for him about. And maybe she just was clinging to her son because something wasn't right with him either.
Quana?
Well, yeah, Nancy was on one. It's kind of almost diabolical that they bought those 2 plots of land in the graveyard, and she is buried next to Jonathan, and her husband will have to be buried somewhere else by himself. Right? There's something almost diabolical in that, especially because they went into it together. We're buying these plots together. That to me is questionable. And then he seems so broken when he said that, like, I will be alone basically in eternity. That's interesting to me. I don't think that we can trust the information that she's giving because there's just so much that she can't know, right? How they met, where, like, how could she know all that? She would literally have to become the best investigative reporter to get that much detail. So much of this is speculative. Unless we find out that there are way more pictures than what we've seen that have documented every step of their interactions, essentially, everything from the hotel to their first meeting, everything is just real speculation. All she can assume is, well, you got some naughty pictures of this woman. Y'all must have did the do. That's really all she can know. So there's just so much that's speculative. And now I'm starting to wonder, I'm thinking on Mr. Stephen, and I'm like, was there something going on with you and Jonathan that he is so closed off towards you that maybe Nancy knew about?
Lord have mercy. God forbid.
These shows you can't trust. Somebody's always messing with somebody's baby in these shows.
Yeah, and when you guys talk about this camera and her getting it developed and the pictures that are left and remain, there's a possibility there were additional pictures in there that haven't seen the light of day, that'll never see the light of day because she destroyed them. We have no way of knowing, but that could have fleshed out some additional parts of the narrative. But again,
either there was some incriminating, questionable pictures of her, or Jonathan was taking pictures of someone he shouldn't have been taking pictures of. It's like, let me beat them to it. I don't need my son's name being dragged even more. Like, I want to remember him as he was. And then she got that and saw something that she unexpectedly didn't want to see.
The fact that we haven't come back to Sasha, either in photograph form or in the narrative, is also very interesting to me because she would have been there. I think she only left 3 days or so before he passed.
He took pictures of her. We saw him take pictures of Sasha.
Yeah. So why haven't I'm wondering from the perspective of the show, will we even come back to her at all, or is that just
the mama show didn't like her? They didn't like Sasha either.
Must be her. She got him smoking on the the mother's off. My bet's on the mother.
Okay, now we have Robert. Robert's down bad. And I just want to know, is Robert going to go to jail? He's sleeping in the car, drinking in the car, getting erections in the cafe, and he is covering up at work because they're defrauding the people. He said, listen, We just need to make stuff not look as dodgy as it's been looking. So we're gonna doctor it up like this. Since we are a nonprofit, we need to make sure everything, and they're all colluding, because how are 10 of y'all in this meeting setting up to defraud the government? Kay, talk to me about Robert and his spiral. What's happening with Robert? And is it something so bad that he could go to jail for?
If he can continue on this path, because he's unraveling right now. He is unraveling and unraveling at a rapid pace. He needs to hit the pause button and go sit down somewhere. Like, you know what? Maybe just take some days off of work or something. Go sit down somewhere. Because right now he's not doing good. He's not, and I don't even know if he noticed. Like, he's still trying to act like he's okay. Sir, you're not okay. You look unhinged. And I mean, and rightfully so, because that was a surprise. He didn't know that was about to happen. But give yourself a minute, because when you down that bad, and he probably feels like what else do I have right at this point? Like this was it. This was my rep. He's putting himself in a position to do something reckless. Like, he can do something reckless right now, and probably not even feel bad about it at the moment.
He's
I see
already
that for
doing
him.
stuff reckless in his business, because, sir, they will put you in the pinta.
Oh,
Quana,
I see worse coming for him.
what's next for Robert? He's down bad. What's going on with him?
Robert's gonna die. I'm so sorry. I am calling it now. Robert is gonna die, because as soon as we got that first opening scene with him in that bottle in the car, I was already on edge. I was like, oh no. I said, oh no, a car about to come and hit Robert. Oh no, Robert about to crash into something. Like, I was already prepared for that. And I was like, oh, this has the way they kept showing him looking at his phone when the phone went off ringing, the way he reached down, grabbed the bottle. He wasn't like looking away. He's never looking at the road. It's raining. He's not looking at the road. I was like, either they're about to kill him right now, and I was ready for it, or this is foreshadowing. And I think Robert is the weak link between the three of them, that if somebody is going to pay that ultimate cost that Stephen is really going for, it will be him first and foremost. I think that Nicholas is too, as Kay said, Nick's not all there. So I don't see Nick being as attuned to what's going on where it would really touch him to make him go in that way. But I could see Robert taking his self out of the equation, between the stuff going on at job and him getting possibly caught, his marriage falling apart and all, and then people finding out, and then the fact that he was getting turned on and aroused, reading about his wife's exploits. Like, she'd have made him a whole cuckold. Oh no, he's I don't see it for him. I'm so sorry, Robert.
And Indira, I blame you, because it's confirmed Indira, the lady from Game of Thrones, is narrating this. And when she talked about the gash was enlarging, girl, shut up. No one wants to hear that. Tyra, what's going on with Robert? And is he gonna die? Like Quana says.
If I thought anybody was gonna die, I would think it would be Nicholas. I would think he's the weaker link. I would think it would be Nicholas. Like, I feel like Robert's gonna want revenge. He's gonna want to get back. He's gonna, like, my company's suffering, girl. What's up with that blackmail? I'll post these pictures myself. Like, I feel like he's gonna get diabolical towards that lady, and he's gonna. We already saw how they ended the episode. Yeah, I feel like he's gonna try to take advantage of this opportunity of her being down and out and wanting her to suffer as well. It's yeah, but if we're gonna lose anybody here, I would think that it's gonna be Nicholas. Like, he's gonna try to save Nicholas or whatever he calls himself doing now, or choosing. But he's not in a position to save anybody. He can barely save his damn self. Okay, so I feel like I see some blackmail or something ahead, or something to where he can be in the position to save his company and also make Catherine pay. But I don't think he's gonna die.
Well, we will definitely see. But before we get into any other slides, let's let you know what's coming up this week. We have a special members only watch along this Saturday. And yeah, here, check it out. And if you're interested, hit up the membership links.
Hey.
Let me guess. You still at home, laying in your bed.
I am pulling up as we speak.
But are you really though?
Hell no, Eb.
A black man walked up to you and hit on you in a bookstore?
Yes.
I'm Justin.
Stacy.
I really don't think I can do this. I just don't think I can have sex in front of people. And you know I don't be sucking dick like that. He just suggested a threesome. Classy?
Boring. You're not flexible at all. And you think balls are gross.
Balls are gross. It is something I've always thought I would do with someone special. What is ugly ass feet? Now we'll see who's boring. Who is she?
High school friend.
What are the odds that we ran into each other?
Two wonderful nights. Just go with it.
I'm gonna go with it right out this door if she gets too crazy.
Hey.
Thanks. I want one.
Hi. Hey, sis. Okay, she is so extra. No one gets that excited over salmon.
I'm nervous as hell. It's most important is you make sure they're both comfortable. Sex is an afterthought.
Has the magic touch, too.
Does she?
Oh, he knows I do.
So y'all, yeah, that's everything we got going on this week, or basically in perpetuity, y'all. The one exception is Teacup. We are catching up tonight immediately after this live, but going forward, Teacups will be on Friday evenings. But yeah, but speaking of Robert, and he can't save nobody but himself. Listen, he made an effort because the boy is back. The boy is back in town. He said, "Let me get my child." If it's his child, because if I'm reading these comments correctly, y'all don't even. Black Orchid said that ain't Robert's son.
Oh, child, I put the icing on the cake.
IJS. She listen. Catherine is for the streets way more than Maggie was. Look, or Maddie. Oh, I'm thinking Maddie. Yeah, Maddie. Yeah. Anyway, they were all for the streets, but he's back. And Catherine is out. She's evicted, unraveling, and surprised about it. And I don't know how she can be that surprised. But when I saw this heifer stir this man's tea with her finger and hand him that cup, I said, oh, yeah, she's done hers. We've seen Catherine in these episodes call Stephen's voicemail and say, I got the book. I read it. You know, a great fictional narrative. Girl. So she's got his tea. She got his phone number. That makes me feel like she knows where he lives. She's in the office and her super assistant is like, listen, you want me to dig deeper? You know, she had written down on the paper that he was an, alleged child SAer, okay? And so do you want me to go on that? Catherine said, I told you no, heifer. Now get out of my face. And the little assistant, she's pissy and not having it. I think she's going to go on and do her own investigation. I think that just lit a fire under assistant number one to see. And so when Catherine gets home after this horrible day at work, because her world is unraveling, she's falling apart. Robert says, yeah, your mom's going out of town, like this big story. She'll be gone for a very, very long time. Oh, mom, you're going to be gone? Had her bags packed. And she sat there, looked surprised, like she was surprised when he pulled out them pictures the first episode. Quana, talk to me about Catherine getting evicted, unraveling, and the audacity to be surprised by any of it.
I mean, yeah, she's always been able to play Robert. Then the idea that he suddenly is getting a backbone and standing up for himself is definitely a surprise to her. I don't know, though, as much as I want her to get what's coming to her, because it's Kate, I can't forget that it's Kate. And in my mind, I'm like, girl, get up. Like, you can't go out. You can't go out like this. Like, you got to have a plan. You got to make a comeback. You got to try. You got to at least give it the old college try, sis. So the fact that she, I think she's definitely going to go rogue. She's going to go off on her own. She doesn't want anybody to have any evidence to what she's about to do. So I think just as much as Steven is coming for her, she's definitely going to have a plan. She's going to start formulating something to get back. But that note about Steven, and we don't know how true that is or not, makes me wonder about that opening scene with him at the school. And is that really the reason that they got called into the office? Was it really over some comments on a paper, or was it something more and we just are seeing his sanitized version of that?
What happened to storytelling when they just told the story? Tyra.
This is a mystery. This is a whodunit.
It is.
Pretty much. Maybe I'm just waiting on Catherine to slide down the wall. Because once we slide down the wall, we know it's real. All hope is lost. I need to fight. Like, she doesn't want to tweak into that pedophile thing just yet. Like, I don't want to see that. I said no. She's saying that now because for whatever reason, she's like, oh, he just wants acknowledgement. Let me go on and leave this little voicemail. Let him know I'm acknowledging him. I see this fantastic piece of fiction. Way to go. This is incredible. You do you, sir. Uh-huh. Well, yeah, Catherine, this isn't that. I don't know why it's taking her so long to realize this isn't that. Like, girl, the book is in the stores. The book is in the shelf, on the shelf of the store that you frequent. Everything, he has, just been dropping crumbs and breadcrumbs all over the place to let you know, like, girl, it's even in the book. If you thought this was about you, it is. I'm coming for you. And it's taken her too long to realize that. I don't know how much further she needs to get broken down. Maybe this was it, because she dang sure ain't expect to get thrown out. She didn't expect that. Like, I've always been in control of everything. So now that this is happening, I need to get my life back. And I think we're going to go down that. And then we'll really get to see any history that any of them have with everything. I think she's going to really dig up some dirt on Kevin, and it's going to get messy. I can't wait to see it. But yeah, her being evicted and him having her bags packed, that was funny. That was funny because she's still waiting to, like, baby, I'm gonna cook you some fish. I'm like, you know that dish you love? I'm gonna cook that fish again, with no seasoning on, and the cat on the counter, and we're gonna be okay. Why are we doing this? Like, I didn't, even with her trying to explain herself, like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Well, yeah, I did it, but yeah, it's not enough of it didn't happen that way. She's giving it life for it to feel like this is what happened verbatim. I'm sorry, I was trying to protect Nicholas. She hasn't gave any rebuttal. So I'm like, girl, did you really move like that? Huh. But even with her getting put out, she's like, well, Nicholas read it. Don't let him know that. She's trying to protect him as if something happened to him there. Above him, just maybe, because I thought he was going to be in a state that we found Jonathan, like, really drowning, going under. He didn't even touch the water. He was safe in a lifeboat, saying, get away from me, I'm fine. So if that's what that was, what are we saving him from? I'm hoping that it's just a near drowning and it's not something more sinister.
I think she's trying to save herself. I think Catherine is saving her damn self about her image, her reputation, how he looks at her is what I think he's doing here. But it could be more nefarious. I just hope it's not. Kay, A has a question specifically for you. Catherine's giving true malignant narcissist. You don't want to tangle with them. Would love Kay Bly's take on narcissism, and if you think that's what Catherine has going on.
I definitely see that. Especially, she hid this incident from her husband for, what did he say, 20 years? Mm-hmm. And she still isn't exactly taking accountability for it. And that's what they do. She doesn't, and she's cried her white woman tears all this time because she does not want to be seen as the bad person. That's why she called up, what's his name, to try to check on the book. She don't want people to think that she's a bad person. She wants to be portrayed in the most positive light ever. She's not going to take accountability of it. And she's going to gaslight people. She's gaslighting her husband, talking about, I'm protecting Nicholas. No, if you was protecting Nicholas, you would have him living with y'all instead of living in the crack house right now. You weren't protecting Nicholas then because you're not protecting him now. You're trying to protect yourself. And that's what she's doing. She wants people to think the best of her, the most high regards of her. And when it starts to crack at her that she's not all that, that's when she's starting to unravel. And she's going to start to stoop really, really low in order to uphold that Catherine didn't do anything wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she'll probably get some other players involved too. I'm interested to see what they're going to do in these next 3 episodes. And this is just a side note because we know he's still plotting. He getting help and enlistments. I'm ready to see his next prong of attack. But again, if this happened any sort of way, like the mama painted it, and this was the look on her face as this man is dragging who just or drowning who just saved your child, she must do time, and it must be hard time. um okay, do you everything we already know, unreliable narrator, had no way of really knowing, but there were probably witnesses on the beach, so maybe mama did look around and ask people, whatever, or maybe she couldn't because it was time, but the lifeguards were there. Do you honestly think that Catherine sat there, watched him flailing in the water, didn't say a word, and had this look on her face as he was drowning?
I ain't gonna say she pulled a Walt Whitman and just sat there and watched the poor boy pass away in the water. But what I will say is that she watched her husband for 20 years think that she was somebody that she wasn't.
Okay, okay. Quana?
Hit the wrong button. Uh, um, I don't think that it happened the way that we saw it, but I definitely think this is how she reacted. I think she kept her mouth shut. I think she didn't say anything. I think she watched him. I think she contemplated, should I or shouldn't I? And she held that thought long enough, just long enough to give herself an out. I didn't really put my hand to him. I didn't really do it, but I didn't do anything to say, hey, there's somebody still out there. And I think she sat there, and as they were going to get him, I think she definitely was wishing that they wouldn't catch him in time.
After you
Remember,
just
she tried to
laid
say
up
she
with
never knew him. She said she didn't know that man.
She said she didn't know him.
how heartbreaking. Tyra, what do you think?
I
Ugh.
want to know what really transpired in this weekend for her, because I think she said here. I think she did, but why? After all they've shared, I think it would have taken a little bit more than I want to be with you. I'm getting a ticket. I want you to leave your husband. Like, girl, you got to leave him right now. I give you a little time. Like, boy, sir, little baby. I just feel like it was something else. I feel like it was something else, and it's something being omitted here because she was just like, oh, just die, just die. Please don't be alive, please. She was praying that nobody noticed that he was out there squirming and gasping for air. Like, oh, please, if you're going to save him, hopefully he's dead by the time they get here. Something else happened beyond her thinking about her marriage or how she would be perceived, because who was she at this point? She wasn't the Catherine she is now here. She wasn't. So it wasn't like she had an image to uphold aside from, I guess, not wanting her husband to find out. But as far as like something to save, it wasn't that. So I just want to know what happened for real.
It's something with that cut. It's something with that cut, Ashley. And didn't the people, now that I'm thinking about it, didn't the police say that the lifeguards weren't there because they were dealing with somebody who had a cut? So I think Jonathan's not squeaky clean in all this.
I'm telling you.
The mama said he was a strong swimmer, and he was a super strong swimmer because it take a lot to swim against the current. And I said he was out there like he was an Olympic professional, but of course he'd be tired. But the idea that they saw him and left him, and there were multiple swimmers who came out, you know what I mean? And so one couldn't take the baby back, and then another one helped Jonathan. It was very odd, but as this wraps up, you guys, as we're wrapping up this live, getting ready for our Teacup Live, which will be right after, I want to know predictions. Tyra, do you have any predictions for these upcoming episodes?
Oh, Catherine gonna slide down a wall. Wherever she's going, I don't know what room she's checking in with her bags. She's gonna slide down a wall and realize I can't get control of this like I've controlled everything else in my life. I need to start fighting back and fight back now. Let me learn everything I can learn about this man and try to do to him what he's trying to do to me before this gets blown out of proportion even more. And maybe once it's settled, I can, beg for my husband's forgiveness or something. She's gonna slide down the wall, and when she does, I'm hoping that what is Kevin's name here?
Steven.
I'm hoping Steven's ready. I'm hoping he's ready, because he's real, comfortable now, pulling them hairs out of his mouth, out of them preserves. Like, sir, please, never again. Yeah, because he not all there, He's not all there. There's a man with nothing to lose, but are you sure you have absolutely nothing to lose? Do you not care? Because he did say he was, this upstanding teacher once upon a time. I should have left then when I still, had some concern to care about. Would he care for whatever little paths of tear down she's going to go down? Because she has to rip him up and diminish his character. That's the only way to get ahead of this, because he doesn't have a wife, he doesn't have a son, and he doesn't have a job. What, he got some pension?
You can't take that. I'm curious if it'll be a battle of wits. Quana, what say you? What do you think? As far as predictions going forward, and has Steven met his match in a Catherine?
Oh, I mean, it wouldn't be fun if he didn't meet his match. I think definitely she's got to come with some smoke. I mean, they gotta draw out these next few episodes. So I definitely think he's underestimating just how savvy or how low she's willing to go. But I think she doesn't really know what all he has up his sleeve either. I think she thinks the book is it, and that's all she'll have to worry about. And I think she's going to try to just bury the book, not realizing that he's definitely got some other things in play with whatever creating this fictional character that he's going to start catfishing. So I definitely think we're going to see her lose everything, but I think he's going to not get the outcome. I definitely think there is something more about that wife, and he's going to figure that out, and that's going to be the end of it all.
Oh Lord. Kay, any predictions going forward?
I have faith in Steven. Okay, he ain't got nothing but space and opportunity. He ain't got nothing else to do. Okay, if anybody got time, he got time today. So she can move and take her steps, but he might be 2 steps ahead at this point, because what else has he got to do? He has nothing to do but plan and plot. And even by if she even kind of says you know what, one manipulator against another, I got you on this. I think he's gonna have a backup plan. I got faith in him. I think we're gonna get another person's point of view as well. We're going to get another person. Somebody else's story is going to jump in here to twist. Somebody got to shake the table.
I hope so. I'm definitely interested. I mean, Catherine does have the benefit of actually knowing what happened, right? She has the benefit of knowing what the truth is. And I think that can put her in a seat or position of power in this space, because if I know the truth and know what happens, I can artfully craft another narrative if I needed to. You know what I mean? But it'd be interesting to see what happens. You guys be sure to drop it in the comment section under wherever you're watching, and let us know if you have any predictions and what those predictions are going forward. But you guys, that's it for disclaimer episodes 3 and 4. I'm going to give everyone the floor to let you guys know what they have going on. And let's see, Kay, we're going to start with you. What's going on over there at Slice of Horror?
I just dropped my theories from y'all need to run that up. Okay, stop playing. And then the panel from is tomorrow. I plan to watch Strange Darling this week to give y'all my weekly review of something that I've watched. It's been on my list. Let's see. Penguin on Wednesdays. Absolutely. And what do we got? Please watch Teacup, y'all. Okay. I need y'all to stop playing with James Wan and watch Teacup. All right. A lot of content coming. Please hit like and subscribe on not only my channel, but everybody else on this panel. Okay. We have suffered a lot with these 2 episodes. Please hit like and subscribe.
Kwana, what's going on over at Her Real Review?
I just dropped a review of the Pharrell Lego biopic, Piece by Piece. I dropped Woman of the Hour, the Anna Kendrick directed movie that's on Netflix. And I'm going to be dropping Babes and Wild Robot. But aside from that, I'm getting ready to start covering Rivals, which is a new show on Hulu. David Tennant. So I love me some David Tennant so much. I'm going to start covering that. So yeah, just Oh, and Smile too.
Oh, she said
Smile 1 and 2.
I'll have to check out your Rivals reviews. I watched the first episode and I was like, this is not what I expected. I'm into it. I just don't know who else is into it. But I enjoyed the first episode immensely. I said, oh, this is kind of Black adjacent too. We got a Black producer.
Nefessa is in it, right? Yeah.
Listen, I was like, okay, girl. Tyra, what's going on over there at the struggle?
Don't watch Teacup and see what happens. We will be linking up like in literally 20 minutes to recap the latest episode of Teacup. Please go and run up my solo recap for Teacup if you haven't already. Be on the lookout either late tonight or early tomorrow morning for my solo video for From. And of course, we do the From Live tomorrow as well. I am currently working on my review of Training Day. That's going to be fun. And be on the lookout for members only live. I'll let you guys vote on what film you guys want to discuss. But yeah, become a member of the channel. I appreciate it. Run up them teacups.
Please run up Teacup. I did a review on Teacup. Run up From as well. That's out, the recap ahead of tomorrow's live. But you guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching. Thanks for all the comments and engagement and interaction. And thank y'all for watching this show with us. You know what I mean? Because I know some of y'all would have never watched it. So we thank you for watching it with us. We thank you for being here with us. And of course, we always appreciate seeing you. Have the most amazing rest of your evening and an even better week. But also come back for Teacup, okay, guys? It's coming right up. Be there with us, y'all. Just come on. But thank y'all, and we'll see you later.